Starboy back again. Chapter 3. The truth was, Fyodor Petrovich had never expected this. He had played his hand with absolute arrogance, never imagining that penniless, defenseless women could actually slip from his grasp. His vanity was colossal, bordering on delusional. Having dragged himself up from obscurity, he was hopelessly obsessed with his own image, routinely gloating over his reflection in the mirror. But more than himself, he loved his money. It was the shield that made him the equal of men who used to look down on him. When he had thrown Dunia's ruined reputation back in her face, he had done so with genuine, self righteous anger. He truly believed that they were being blackly ungrateful. He knew perfectly well that the town gossip about Dunia was completely false. Marfa Petrona had cleared her name, and the whole town had taken Dunia's side. Yet, in his mind, condescending to marry her was still a heroic act. He couldn't comprehend why they didn't worship him for it. He had walked into Raskolnikov's room expecting flattery and submissive thanks. He walked out feeling like a deeply wronged martyr. He needed Dunia. For years, he had fantasized about a very specific kind of wife, virtuous, beautiful, highly educated, but utterly broke and completely submissive. A girl who would view him as her absolute savior and spend her life worshipping him. Dunia was all of that and more. She had a fierce pride and intellect that actually surpassed his own, which only made the prospect of dominating her even sweeter. On top of that, he was launching a major career move in St. Petersburg. He knew a charming, refined wife could open high society doors for him. And now his entire future was in ruins. A single, clumsy argument, and the whole fantasy had evaporated. Pyotr Petrovich, seething as he hit the street. No, this isn't over. Tomorrow, I will fix this. I'll smooth it over. But first, I have to completely cross that arrogant little brat of a brother. The thought of resuming made him sick, but he quickly dismissed him as a nobody. The man who actually terrified him was Svidrigailov. He had way too much to deal with. Dunya, throwing her arms around her mother. No, I am the one to blame. I let myself be tempted by his money. I swear to you, Rodia, I had no idea he was such a disgusting man. If I had seen his true colors, nothing on earth would have convinced me to say yes. Please don't hate me. Pulcheria Alexandrovna, dazed, barely processing. God has delivered us. He has actually delivered us. Within 5 minutes, the suffocating tension broke, and they were all laughing. Dunia still went pale occasionally, shivering at the memory of the confrontation, but the relief in the room was palpable. Even Pulcheria Alexandrovna was shocked by her own joy. Only hours ago, losing Luzin felt like a death sentence. Razumihin was practically vibrating with excitement. A massive weight lifted off his chest. He finally had the right to stand by them, to protect them, to be their man. He didn't dare let his imagination run any further, but he was ecstatic. Only Raskolnikov sat apart, cold and indifferent. Sorry. Despite being the one who pushed hardest for the breakup, he now seemed the least interested in it. Dunya stepping closer to him. What did Svidrigailov actually say to you, Rodia? Pulcheria Alexandrovna. Yes, tell us, Raskolnikov, without looking up. He wants to give you 10,000 rubles and he wants to meet with you once, with me present. Pulcheria Alexandrovna. Meet her? Absolutely not. How dare he offer her money? Raskolnikov flatly summarized his meeting with Svidrigailov, deliberately leaving out the bizarre parts of Marfa Petrovna's ghost to keep things simple. Dunya, what do you tell him? Raskolnikov. I told him I wouldn't pass on his message. Then he threatened me to bypass me and force a meeting himself. He claimed his obsession with you is over, and that he just wanted to stop you from marrying Luzin. Honestly, he was all over the place, Junior. What do you think of him, Rodia? What's your gut feeling? Raskolnikov. I don't entirely get him. He offers you 10,000 rubles but claims he's not rich. He says he's leaving town, then forgets he said it 10 minutes later. Then he says he's getting married to some local girl. He clearly has an agenda, and it's probably a dark one. But if he's actively plotting against you, he's being incredibly sloppy about it. I turned down the money on your behalf. Obviously, the man is incredibly strange. Honestly, he might be losing his mind. But then again, it could all be an act. Marfa Petrovna's death seems to have completely unhinged him. Pulcheria Alexandrovna, God rest her soul, I will pray for her every single day. Dunya, where would we be without that 3,000 rubles she left you? It's a miracle. Dunya, this morning we only had 3 rubles to our name. We were literally about to pawn Dunya's watch just to get through the day without begging Luzin for help. Dunya stood in silence, visibly shaken by Svidrigailov's move. Dunya, whispering to herself, shivering. He's planning something terrible. Raskolnikov, watching her intense reaction. I have a feeling I'll be seeing him again. Resuming him, fired up. I'll tell him. I'll track his every move. I swear to you. Rodia already told me to watch over you. Do I have your permission too, Adoria Romanova? Doria offered a weak smile and reached out to shake his hand, though the shadow of an anxiety remained on her face. Pulcheria Alexandrovna, however, was already looking immensely comforted by the thoughts of the 3,000 rubles. Within 15 minutes, the mood completely shifted. Razumihin was in full business mode, pacing the room. Razumihin, listen to me. Why on earth would you go back to some tiny provincial town? What is there for you? You are all here together now, and you need each other. Trust me on this. Here's the plan. We go into business together, a real partnership. The idea hit me this morning. I have an uncle, incredibly sweet, respectable old guy. He has a pension and about 1,000 rubles in savings that he has no use for. He's been begging me to borrow it at 6% interest just to help me out. I've always said no, but now I'll take it. You guys pitch in another 1,000 from Junior's legacy. That gives us 2,000 rubles. We launch a publishing company. He enthusiastically began laying out the business mechanics. Resume. Most publishers in this city don't know the first thing about literature or business. They're completely blockheads. But good books always make money. I have spent 2 years working in these offices. I know the industry inside and out. I know three languages. We don't need to be geniuses to make this work. We'll know exactly what needs translating. We'll do the translation ourselves, print them, and sell them. I already have 2 or 3 high demand titles in mind that would make an instant profit. We start small, we scale up, we cover our living expenses, and we protect our capital. What do you think? Dunya, her eyes lightening up. I actually love this idea, Dmitry Prokofiev, Pulkeda and Rona. I don't know anything about business. Of course, it sounds risky, but at least it keeps us here near Rodia. Dunya. Rodia, what do you think? Raskolnikov. I think it's a great idea. It's too early to build a massive publishing house, but publishing a few carefully chosen titles is a guaranteed success. I even know of a book that would sell out instantly. Resuming definitely has the skills to pull this off. We can discuss the details later. Resuming yelling. Hooray now. Hooray. Now listen, there's an empty favorite. Hooray. Now listen. There's an empty, furnished, three-room flat in this very building for a great price. It has a separate entrance. You three can move in there together. Gloria can be right here with you. I'll pawn Dunia's watch tomorrow and get some quick cash, and we'll sign the lease. Gloria, wait. Where are you going? Raskolnikov had grabbed his cap and was quietly moving toward the door. Pulcheria Alexandrovna panicked. Gloria, you're leaving already? Resuming. Right at this moment, Dunya stared at her brother in disbelief. Raskolnikov with a failed attempt at a smile. You're all acting like we are saying goodbye forever. But who knows? Maybe we are. Maybe this is the last time we'll see each other. Pulcheria Alexandrovna. What are you talking about? Dunya. Gloria, where are you going? Raskolnikov vaguely, his face pale, and said with stark determination, I have to. I wanted to tell you both. It's better if we part ways for a while. I'm sick. I have no peace. I will come back on my own when I can. I love you, but please leave me completely alone. I decided this before I even came here. Whatever happens to me, whether I survive or go to ruin, I need to be alone. Don't look for me. Don't ask about me. If I can, I'll come back. Or I will send for you. But right now, if you actually love me, just let me go. Otherwise, I will start to hate you. I can already feel it. Goodbye. Pulcheria Alexandrovna. My God! Dunya, following him into the hallway, her eyes burning with anger. Gloria, what are you doing to mother? Raskolnikov, staring blankly. It doesn't matter. I'll come. I'm coming. He turned and walked down the dark corridor. Dunya, you heartless, selfish egoist. Resuming, grabbing Dunya's hand, whispering urgently. He's not heartless. He's literally insane. Can't you see he's lost his mind? You are the one being heartless right now. Stay here. I'll be right back. Razumihin bolted out of the room and found Raskolnikov waiting for him near the flickering lamp at the end of the long hallway. Raskolnikov, I knew you'd run after me. Go back to them. Be there for them. Tomorrow and always. I might come back if I can. Goodbye. He didn't offer his hand. Razumihin, desperate. Where are you going? What's wrong with you? You can't just walk away like this. Raskolnikov, stop it. Never ask me about this again. I have nothing to tell you. Do not come to my room. Maybe I'll come to you, but stay with them. You understand me? They stood under the dim hallway light, staring at one another in dead silence. In that single quiet minute, something shifted. Razumihin started stare into Raskolnikov's intense, burning eyes. Suddenly, he flinched. An unspoken, terrifying realization passed between them. A hideous, monstrous truth flashed in the dark, and in an instant, both of them understood. Razumihin went completely white. Raskolnikov, his face twitching nervously. You understand now? Go back. Go to them. He turned quickly and vanished down the stairs. Razumihin stood frozen. When he finally walked back into the room, he forced a smile, desperately lied to the terrified women. He assured them that Frodia just needed rest, that his illness was making him erratic, that he would visit them every day, and that he would personally find him the best doctor in St. Petersburg. But from that exact night onward, Razumihin took his place in their lives. No longer just a friend, but a son and a brother. Yeah? Wow, finished too earlier. Good for me. Bye then.